Things to avoid when writing interracial romances. Interracial romances, or IR romances, have been popular for quite a few years. I wrote my first interracial romance in 2015, and let me tell you, when I came upon the genre, I was late to the game because it already existed and it already had a huge audience, a voracious audience that were devouring these type of interracial books at a phenomenal rate and speed. Did you know that there are Facebook groups and book clubs that are strictly dedicated to interracial or IR romances? You might even be surprised to find out that there are some readers who only read interracial romances, and there are some writers who only write interracial romances. But that shouldn't be a problem, since there are so many genres in which to write. I have to admit that I was not familiar with this genre of romance. I was told some years ago, quite a few years ago, by a dear coworker that the genre existed and that it was extremely popular. So I have to thank my coworker and my friend because she always keeps me abreast of the things that are going on in the romance community as far as books, what's popular, what she likes to read, what she'd like to see that isn't available currently. So I just would have to say thank you so much. I am truly blessed with a group of coworkers who constantly feed me information, who constantly encourage me to write and to pursue my dreams. And they're always sending me information or giving me information. So you know who you are. And I just want to say I truly appreciate your help. And I definitely would not be where I am if it were not for your friendship, if it were not for your encouragement, and if it were not for your knowledge. So again, I have to say thank you to all my coworkers, to my family, and to my friends. Are you familiar with the tags BWWM? Well, that means Black Woman, White Man. Or perhaps you've seen a tag BWAM. That stands for Black Woman, Asian Man. Or perhaps WWBM. That's White Woman and Black Man. There are lots of other tags. However, these are the ones that I see quite frequently. Interracial romances can also fall under the umbrella of multicultural romances. It depends on the writer and it depends on the tags that the writer uses. I have been fascinated and very curious about this genre. I'm wondering where it originated. How did it come about? And how did it become so popular? And how did it garner a fan base that is so huge? So I've been trying to find information out. And if any of you have any information that you can provide for me or send to me, I would truly appreciate it. Because I just think it's very interesting that a subgenre of romance existed for quite a while. And I had no idea. And it makes me wonder if there are other subgenres out there that have these quiet fan bases. So my curiosity about IR romances or interracial romances has led me to an online article by Stacey Deanne, and it's found on Bella Online, The Voice of Women. Things to avoid when writing interracial romance. I am a huge supporter of interracial relationships. I have read tons of books in the genre, and I came to find out that some of the same things I hate in many interracial romances are the same things that other readers do not like. Interracial romance is any romance consisting of a couple from different races. Black women and white men romance dominate book sales. Some interracial romance books have become too predictable, and it's important to stand out in any genre. Below are things you might want to avoid when writing interracial romances. There is a difference between a strong Black woman and a mean and arrogant black woman. You don't want to create an unrealistic character that is so untouchable readers cannot relate to her. Sometimes this feeds into the stereotype of the angry black woman, and it is offensive to black women who are the majority who read interracial romance novels. Next, the lame hero. Many heroes in IR are painted as weak, and it seems to be to build up the strength of the heroine. There is nothing worse than a wimpy hero who lets the heroine treat him like dirt. Just like no one likes a weak heroine, people really hate a wimp of a hero. Next, lack of chemistry between the hero and the heroine. Some might think that the most important thing is race in an IR romance, but people who truly support IR know that race is a very small part of it. The hero and the heroine must have chemistry, no matter what kind of romance you're writing. The characters' races should not be your only focus. At the heart of the book, it's still a romance, and a romance has to evoke emotion in readers. You want to create characters so drawn to each other that the reader's heart palpitates whenever the characters are in the room together. Focus on chemistry and less on color. And finally, Stacey Deanne's last piece of advice deals with cliches. Stray away from stereotypes that turn your characters into cardboard cutouts. Remember that a person's race does not make them who they are or dictate how they act. Their race is a part of them. It's not who they are. Writers need to step out of the box in order to bring a dynamic interracial romance to the forefront. For those of you who are curious about the author of this particular article, as I said, her name is Stacey Deanne, and she is a USA Today featured author. Born and raised in Houston, Texas, Stacey Deanne, an award-winning author of romance suspense, romantic thrillers, contemporary romance, historical romances, and erotica books featuring black women, white men pairing. Her books have been bestsellers in stores worldwide, including Amazon, Apple, and Barnes & Noble. Stacey is known for bringing versatile stories to her readers. With her, you never know what you're going to get, which separates Stacey's work from the pack. Stacey Deanne also leaves a recommendation list at the end of her article. Check out these authors of interracial romance and erotica: Charisma Knight, Stacey Morris, Lena Matthews, Tressie Lockwood, Serenity King, Bridget Midway, Yvette Hines, Dahlia Rose, and Aaliyah Burke. If you would like to leave recommendations for my viewing audience, please do so in the comments section. I truly would appreciate it. In listening to the complaints of IR or interracial romance readers, I would like to add to this list of things to avoid when writing interracial romances. Your white hero is not there to rescue the heroine. Neither is he there to lead her community. He is simply there as a love interest. And the black heroine, or any heroine, should not elevate the man of a different race above the men of her own race. And the same thing can be said in the reverse. The white hero, or any hero, should not elevate the woman of a different race above the women of his own race. Your characters may be from different ethnic backgrounds, but they are human first and do not belong on a pedestal.